from One Gas join us today. And so I think the sirens are done, so we can go ahead and get started. And Shay, I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce the One Gas team, and you all just take it away.
Thank you so much for having us today. So I'm Shay Glover, the college recruiter at One Gas, and we recruit at the University of Tulsa in the fall for our summer internship program. And so that's how we're kind of involved with TU. And I have Matt Bieberly on the call, who's also from One Gas, and then Joey Baumgartner. And so if you guys would, if you want to go ahead and take a minute to introduce yourselves.
Yeah. Hello. I'm Matt Bieberly. I'm the corporate accounting and SEC reporting director here at One Gas. So for the accounting and finance group, myself and Cindy King kind of lead the efforts as we recruit in the fall for summer interns. So I've been with the company for almost 10 years. I started my career out at with the company in Kansas at Kansas Gas Service. With the kind of regulatory accounting as a manager up there. And then just recently, about 4.5 or so odd years ago, relocated up here to Tulsa to take over my new role. So glad to be here.
And I'm Joey Baumgartner. Good afternoon. Nice to see you guys. I'm a director of information technology for the operations part of One Gas. And I've been in IT at One Gas for about 11 years now. Started at One Oak and then went through the separation of One Oak and One Gas. And so my group's in charge of the operations part of our company. So we have applications and support for that part of our business. I'm a Tulsa graduate. Went to the University of Tulsa, got a computer science degree a long time ago. So, but always happy to support TU. And I'm also the coordinator for our intern program within the IT department.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you all for being here today. And so our session title was COVID-19 isn't a deal breaker. And so when I was talking to Shay about having you all join us, she talked about how you all transitioned during COVID-19 and what I think is record time, and still were able to put on a successful internship program. And so if you wanted to share some thoughts on that, and for participants on the line, you can feel free to mute, unmute, ask questions throughout. It's very informal. Ask questions about One Gas as we go through the informal presentation. But whoever wants to start, go ahead and take it away.
Well, I can kind of start from our perspective. I think with working remote, we started probably in mid-March. My team and most of the employees kind of within the accounting and finance department started working remote. It was really interesting to see how, because of the IT capabilities that we have, we're able to kind of set up a home office and kind of work through both our first quarter and currently right now our second quarter filing. So the team has really adjusted really well, working remote, and it's been a pretty good experience. We're looking for additional enhancements that we can kind of carry forward even when we return to the office. A lot of process improvements we went through just working remote has helped. From an internship perspective, it's been really interesting. Sorry. It's been interesting because we've had the ability to get the intern really set up from that perspective and be able to show them kind of our culture, which has really helped us move forward with their internship. So talking to them, they've really felt like they've been able to see kind of our corporate culture, which is something that we pride on. Kind of our family-like atmosphere here at One Gas and within the team, and they've been able to work in property accounting, corporate accounting, and SEC reporting, working through our second quarter filing, going through our quarter close and month-end close, in addition to unitizing and closing those property projects that we have. So it's been a good experience for them, and I think they've really enjoyed getting to know us and the company, even though we've been in a kind of virtual environment. So.
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about our experience. Very similar to what Matt said. Very quickly had to move to remote work at home. And one of the first things we did, as we started in that process, and Shay kind of led that for us, was, are we going to be able to do our internship program? And we were hearing about other companies that were canceling them, or kind of up in the air about whether they would be able to do them. And we even heard of some full-time employees who had offers coming out of college who, those offers got rescinded. And so we knew it was a very difficult environment. And I think, everybody at One Gas I talked to, and Shay, and I know Matt, everybody was committed to do it if we could. And so, a lot of creativity went into it. The internship program itself, trying to rethink how we did things, even down to, from an IT perspective, how do we get them a laptop? They're going to need a machine. They're going to need to connect into our environment and do work. How do we even, do that? We're not really used to, everybody comes into an office and we give them a machine and it's really easy. So just figuring the logistics of that out, was a bit of a challenge. But I think all those problems got solved really quickly. And it's, the kind of thing that, even though you don't have a solution for it when the problem comes up, if you have an open mind about it and you're committed to it, as we were, then we were able to quickly overcome those things. So the internship program has been different, but I think extremely effective, equally as effective as it has been in the past. We've really gotten to know the interns. We've given them, I think, meaningful projects, just like we would have, in any year. The only difference probably is a little bit, a little less social interaction between the interns themselves. On the IT side, we every year we've done a kind of a robot way for the interns to work together in teams. And in the past, we've given them a physical robot and kind of a challenge course they have to work together over the course of the summer as kind of a side project. And obviously, we couldn't get them together this time. So we were able to find a virtual robot competition, almost like a video game, but it really did involve some programming and some teamwork. And so they had to work together to figure out how to do that. And we had two kind of virtual competitions throughout the summer where they were able to demonstrate, what they learned and what they figured out and compete against each other. So that, that allowed us to get them working together in ways they wouldn't have, because normally they would see each other in the office. They would probably schedule some, dinners and social events that they would go, get to know each other and kind of bond together throughout the summer. So I think we've been able to do the best we can with that, given that they're not able to actually meet each other physically. So, I think it was a good recovery, if you will, and we learned a lot through it. I think the interns have, from what we can tell, have had a really good experience. So I'm glad we, decided to stay committed to that.
Thank you, Matt and Joey. And I'd like to also speak to, so I'm in human resources, and we got to see what IT was able to do in mid-March to be able to give us the equipment we needed to work remotely. So it was pretty amazing too, just on our business operations side, to see what we were able to accomplish while working remotely with our teams and using Microsoft Teams to collaborate together and accomplish our work. And then, like Joey said, leadership was very open-minded with making sure that we were committed to our internships offers and what that would look like this summer. And so it was really cool to kind of research and prepare for that, like a virtual internship experience. And so we recruit for engineering, accounting, finance, IT, human resources. And so we have I think we have 17 interns this summer. 15 of them are working remotely, and then 2 of them are in the field that are from OSU IT. And so it's really cool to be able to keep those internship offers and provide them a virtual experience. And so we've, like Joey said, got to do some fun and kind of creative things with them virtually. So I've done like a virtual scavenger hunt. We've done virtual coffee chats, and we've done like a virtual game show. And then tomorrow we're doing a virtual escape room. So we've tried to come up with ways where they have that social engagement and ways to connect with their teams through Microsoft Teams. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you guys have about how we've been working remotely and how the interns have been working remotely and what that kind of looks like, or if you have any questions about our internship program.
So one question to get us started, what was one thing you noticed about students? Were they able to adapt more to this remote working than, say, maybe some of our more seasoned employees? Or, I know I heard from a lot of students, there's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, because schools went online. And then as we look ahead to the fall semester and we think about recruiting in the fall, anything to put our students at ease, what will recruiting look like from your standpoint? We're working through, handshake and all that for virtual career fairs, but kind of just a timeline of what you're looking for recruiting this fall.
So, Matt or Joey, have you found that our current interns have, adapted well to remote work? Do you guys have any feedback on that?
Yeah, I think they did. I think it was actually a benefit that most of the schools, went remote before the internship started. So, and honestly, with the interns and the kids in college today, I mean, they're picking up super easy, right? It's a lot easier for them than for a lot of folks, in the corporate world who may not be as familiar with the technology. So I think they adapted really quickly, and just watching them during this robot competition and not being in the same place, but it was as if they were. I mean, they really didn't miss a beat. That was one one good experience that we had. So I think they pick it up really quick. And we've also done this summer actually had a interview process we went through for a full-time hire, just for a regular full-time hire, and we did it all virtually. So looking forward to next fall, I would say, to students, I wouldn't worry too much about being involved in virtual interviews. I think they've been very successful, and we've done a few of them at One Gas that I've been a part of, and I think they are effective, and it's a great substitute. It's not you don't lose a whole lot. So I would be prepared to do a lot of virtual interviews if I'm a student looking to do recruiting this fall for summer positions next year or beyond. I'd be really comfortable doing that.
I'd say I got to work with the. Go ahead, Matt.
Matt, I think you froze.
I think we lost Matt.
Go ahead, Shay.
He said he was having
I think I'm back.
internet connection.
Apologize. I'm
Might have lost him again.
Sorry, I think he's having internet issues. Yes.
Can you guys hear me? Sorry.
Yep, there you are.
Okay. I would agree with Joey. I think from our perspective, I mean, that was one of the concerns I had was, would we be able to have the same experience for the interns from a virtual versus in the office? And I was really pleased that and video calls and we're able to train them and get them up to speed. And I was just really impressed from my standpoint. I do believe that they, like Joey mentioned, they were able to kind of experience the same thing from a virtual perspective than being in the office. And I think some aspects of working virtually, especially this summer, have really helped them out and helped the team out as we look for new ways of doing things and trying to be more efficient from our end. So it was a blessing this summer to not only have the internship but also bring our students in and have them experience it. And they were, like I said earlier, able to really understand and our corporate culture and our family type atmosphere that we have within the team. And our team really just kind of worked through some of the challenges and used our capabilities that we have to really try to connect with our students this summer. So I was really pleased on how it worked.
I had a quick question about like the outline of the summer internship, like how they work. Is it just a typical 3-month internship, or like how does that work?
So our internship, for example, this summer, it started May 26th and it goes through the end of July. So we'll be ending our internship on July 31st. So it's a 10-week paid internship. That first week, we do a launch week new hire orientation. So that was what I was speaking to earlier. So we did that through Microsoft Teams, where we had sessions with our CEO and president and our VPs and leadership that did presentations on new hire training and our core values, and we had some activities, and then they report to their managers and mentors the following weeks, and they're assigned real, work assignments and job responsibilities or projects throughout the summer, and then they present on their projects their final week. So next Wednesday and Thursday, they'll be doing their final presentations to leadership and our business representatives. So that's kind of the format. And then with the virtual internship experience this summer, we've tried to come up with creative ways to engage with them. So they've had more regular check-ins with their managers and mentors through Microsoft Teams, and we've been encouraging video conversations. And then we've had, like Jerry said, different things set up, lunch and learns and activities with them this summer. When they are in person, that does look differently since, so we're in downtown Tulsa is our corporate office where most of our interns are housed. And so they have, daily interaction with the business, with their manager and mentor throughout the summer.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
You bet. And I might just add to that, David, thank you for the question. I know at least in IT, and I think in the other groups too, it's very project focused. So we try to find projects that the intern can do somewhat independently. Obviously, we've got to give them a lot of support, and we surround them with a mentor and other team members, but we really want them to be able to accomplish something during the summer, not just, take a stack of work from here and move it over there. That's maybe helpful to us, but that really doesn't give the intern, I don't think, the exposure that we want them to have, and it doesn't give us exposure to the intern and see what they can actually accomplish and what they can do. So we want it to be a little bit challenging for them. We want it to be able to prove their skills, and at the same time, we want to provide them the support they need so that they can accomplish that. And we try to give them projects that have some meaning to us, something that maybe we've wanted to do for a while, but we just haven't had the bandwidth to do, or we haven't had somebody with enough focus to take it on. And so, we try to carve something out and give them something that they can complete in those 10 weeks and then make a presentation about it in the end. And we've got something, that we'll be able to use going forward that really has value to the company.
All right. Thank you.
And so I'm looking at our participants here on this chat. So great mix of majors and everything. So Shay, you mentioned kind of the functions that you're recruiting for. So I see we have some of our analytics students on, some of our graduate students. So kind of where would they fall in the recruiting aspect of OneGas?
Yeah, Jerry, would you want to talk a little bit about the IT or data analytics positions?
Yeah. So I assume you mean data analytics, and we do have a pretty large BI team, and part of that we have some data scientists on that team as well. So it goes everything from the business analyst who's working with the customer who is needing a BI solution, all the way up to data scientists that might be doing more advanced analytics and almost into machine learning and AI type things with BI. We use the Power BI platform. So our folks are pretty well versed in that. And we do some recruiting in the data analytics space. So folks are master's degrees. We typically will take one intern each summer in that space. So definitely have some internships opportunities available. And if any of the data analytics majors are interested in internships at OneGas, would encourage them to contact us and stay in touch throughout the fall as we do our recruiting, because we typically will have at least one data scientist type or data analytics type internship that we do each summer.
Thank you. And then, so for IT, we're looking at CS, CIS, which used to be MIS, but now CIS. And then.
Right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It changes, right? And then.
That's right.
We also have at TU just information technology as a major as well. So those would all fall under the IT area.
All those would fall in there, and then also cybersecurity. We usually engage with TU on the cybersecurity side, which can be CIS with a cybersecurity focus, or it can be someone maybe who's doing a cybersecurity focus within their CS program, or maybe even within a master's program. So yeah, all of those majors right there from an IT perspective.
Awesome. And then on the accounting side, accounting, finance, and correct me if I'm wrong, and masters of accountancy?
Yes, that would be right.
Okay. Very nice. And then I also see we have some of our alumni on as well. We have one just tell us, don't forget about our business analytics minor. Yes. And so for experienced hires or our alumni looking to get um, information about One Gas, so not necessarily an internship, but more so full-time. Shay, I know you're more on the college recruiting side, but how will they go about it for the experienced recruiting?
Yeah, so I do have my contact information in the chat, but I'll also add our career site. So onegas.jobs is our career site. So any current openings that we have that are external throughout the year will be posted on there. So you can see all of our jobs on there. We do use the internship program in college recruiting as kind of our pipeline for the IT positions, but we do have openings that come up throughout the year. So if you keep an eye on our career site or just keep in contact with me or our recruiting team, they can kind of keep you updated on that. And you can create an account on our career site too. So if you want to create an account and set up some alerts or filters for some IT type roles as they come available, you can do that as well. And then we do recruit on LinkedIn, so you can see our job postings on there, as well as our recruiting team is on there too. So they'll share postings.
I love that. And let's see, Garrett, I thought you had your hand raised.
Oh, yeah. So I had a question. It was more directed towards Matt. I actually don't know if he's here anymore, though. I'm not sure if I'm seeing him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's having internet issues, but go ahead and ask and we'll see if we can answer for you.
Okay. I was going to ask him more from a finance major standpoint. What kind of, like you said, the IT, they do projects and whatnot. I was going to see how they handle the finance internships and everything, and how that transition happened whenever you guys had to go online. Like, how did you guys handle people having questions, needing to like kind of learn more about certain topics, subjects like that? I was wanting to know like what all did you have them do, and how did you handle any questions they had while they were doing their online internship?
Yeah, so we do have someone that does recruiting for finance, so and treasury. So we do have that department. We don't have any this summer, so they were accounting interns. However, it'd still be a similar process. So after we did the launch week new hire orientation, they reported to their managers and mentors. So they're each assigned a hiring manager and a mentor that works with them closely throughout the week. And so we've been using Microsoft Teams. So through that kind of initial training and of course engagement all throughout the summer, they would do video chats on training, and then you can also share your screen. So we would share their screen and then they would go through training with them. So I don't know if that is kind of what you're looking for. And then Joey, would you have a little bit more of an idea of how the managers have been training the interns?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit on it. It's probably the same for all of our internships, but that the manager and the mentor, that assignment is really to try to help that transition into the internship program. So, once the launch week is complete, and the launch week is really more of a corporate overview, for all the interns at once to kind of get them familiar with our industry and how One Gas works. Then they transition into their individual teams where they have their manager and their mentor, and those are the people who are really responsible for an onboarding program. So we're probably spending the first couple of weeks introducing the intern to the different team members, introducing them to people they might be working with throughout their project, kind of making those introductions, and then doing whatever training might be necessary, so that they can actually execute on the project. So there's probably a 2-week period of time there where they're just kind of onboarding, getting familiar with everything, and then there's touch points. I know each of our teams, at least within IT, we have most of them have daily meetings, and so we include the interns in those daily touch points. And then the manager is going to have at least a weekly meeting. Often the mentor will do the same, at least weekly, if not more. I think some of our managers actually stepped that up because of the virtual environment. We weren't able to just bump into people in the break room or the hallway or whatever. So we increased the frequency of those a little bit with the virtual, so that the intern always felt like they had an outlet if they had questions. They didn't have to wait a week to get those questions answered. But I'll tell you, with our interns this summer, they've had no problem engaging. I mean, they reach out when they need to. I don't feel like they have been on an island in any way whatsoever, and they've been encouraged to be outgoing, and they've really taken advantage of that. So I think the technology helps a lot there too, with IM and the video chat and that kind of thing. It really does go quite a ways to replacing the face-to-face.
Excellent. I love that. And one thing I also want to add for our students is what you'll find as we go back to school here in a few weeks, that, meetings with me for the most part. So your resume reviews, your mock interviews, they'll be done through Microsoft Teams. So you'll get some experience if you're worried about how that will work. We'll get some experience with you, having video chats, all that. Your classes will definitely be using Collaborate, which are all transferable skills for using Teams in that virtual environment. And so just keep that in mind. You'll get plenty of practice. Interviews will be, for the most part, virtual, as we won't really have any on-campus interviews. So we'll have tons of workshops on how to look your best and be your best on a virtual interview to make sure you're prepped come recruiting time. And with that, I do want to say Shay posted in the chat, internship positions will be posted in August. So you'll want to watch for those in Handshake. In about a couple of weeks, I'm looking at Tawny from my calendar, a couple of weeks, we'll do a Handshake overview to go through. If you're not familiar with Handshake, our career management platform at TU, we'll walk through what will, applying for a job, searching for a job or internship, what will it look like? How do you apply? We'll also go through Handshake as far as how the virtual career fair will work. We hope to have that up and running, or so you can at least see how you can sign up for sessions with employers as well. So we're about at our 30-minute mark. Are there any final questions or any final thoughts from our reps from One Gas?
Nothing here. Thanks for the opportunity. Hope some of the information was helpful for you guys.
Definitely. Let's see, I'm looking at the chat to see if there are any hands raised. So again, take a look at the chat. Shay's email address is in there. If you have questions, we approach recruiting season. You definitely want to reach out. Don't wait to start getting your resumes together. Feel free to reach out to me, and we can do resume reviews and get you all prepped. Shay, do you have anything? I think we did actually lose Matt, right?
I think so, yeah, unfortunately. Sorry about that.
No,
yeah, I just wanted, go ahead.
I was going to say, no worries. Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to reiterate that you can reach out to me by that email. onegas.jobs is our career site. I'll be posting our internship positions in August, and we will be participating in the virtual career fair at TU for those disciplines that we talked about. And then we will be doing virtual interviewing like we talked about through Microsoft Teams. So I believe that you guys are doing mock interviews soon as well. So those would be great to participate in. And then we're doing an employer showcase in September, which will provide more of an overview of our company with our business leaders again. So feel free to join that if you'd like to learn more about the company as a whole. And then if you have any questions, feel free to email me as well if you just need advice for virtual interviewing or whatever that looks like this fall. Happy to help with that and give you guys feedback.
Right, and the date for your showcase is September 14th at noon. So great to come and join in and hear more about the company. And Steve, are you waving at me, or you have a hand raised? Okay.
I have a hand raised.
Okay.
I don't know if it's just me. I already have Shay's email address. I appreciate that. I'm not seeing it in the chat for anybody else. It might have been put in there before I came into the meeting. I don't know.
Okay, yes, I will add it one more time. Thank you.
Thanks, Shay.
Then I'm also on LinkedIn, so if anyone wants to connect on there as well, I'll be sharing any events we're doing in the fall. And then again, we share our job postings on there too.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much. Great information. Again, thank you so much for your commitment to the internship program and making that work. And I'm glad all the interns are doing well. I know we have one or two from TU there. So thank you so much. Thank you for everyone who joined. And I will see you next week at our next career chat. So same time, same place, same Zoom link. So feel free to join us then. Everyone stay healthy and stay safe, okay?
Thank you.
You guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.